So it's going to happen. But what you have to understand, and this is what I always have to stress to students, is you have to understand customer expectation in this business. So what do I mean by customer expectation? Well, let's talk about Mindset Monday. And Mindset Monday is something we actually do. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in training, but at the beginning of any training, what you should have is something that sets your mindset, right? It gets you in the flow of what you're going to learn for the rest of the week. So you know exactly how to set yourself to receive that information, internalize that information, and then use that information. Does that make sense? You ever been in a class where you went through a training and you got to the end and you're like, God, what did I learn? Right? It was just so much and it was so all over the place. And what it is you weren't properly introduced and your mindset wasn't ready to receive what it is you're going to be doing for that entire training. Does that make sense? So that's what we do right here at the beginning of this training, is we get into what we call Mindset Monday to help you guys understand who you're going to be servicing. Does that make sense? Not just the technical side of what you're going to be doing, but who you're going to be doing it for, right? If you look around the classroom, we have a couple of posters, and I'm just going to read them real quick. This one over here says, if you build a great experience, customers tell each other about it. Word of mouth is very powerful. Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, right? Customer service. That's what he's saying, right? If you treat people good and you give people a great experience, you wow people. They get excited about it and they tell other people. They basically become your marketing, right? And I'm gonna share some companies that actually do that very well, and they don't spend a lot of money in big, Super Bowl ad campaign marketing. As a matter of fact, you've probably never heard of some of these companies, and these companies are billion-dollar companies. And it's because they do that. They create a great experience, and then those people who experience it, they become part of the marketing team because they say, hey, dude, you need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because they're excited about it. So they tell him, he tells other people, we're in this. I'm sure you guys have heard of social networking, right? That's where we are today. That's what these mobile devices allow us to do, socially network. And social networking is all about letting people know what the opportunity is, what the service is, what I can do for you, right? And it's free, so you can't beat that. But that's where we are today. And some companies are having trouble figuring out how to actually use it. Some companies are using it very, very well and making a killing doing it, right? So you kind of have to adapt to that. But this mindset thing we're going to talk about is how important it is to build relationships in this business. And it goes back to setting the right level of expectation for your customer. Failure to understand the importance of relationship building is where most people go wrong when managing this business. And I'm speaking specifically to cell phone repair because it is a relationship business. And I say that because, let me ask you guys this. You ever left home, left your mobile device or your cell phone on the table, got halfway to work and figured out you left it? What do you think most people do? Turn around and go get it, right? Why is that? It's like they need it. It's like an addiction. They need it, right? I gotta have it. If I don't have it, I can't get through my regular day, right? This is your customer. It's important to understand that. That is your customer, right? People can have car trouble. Car breaks down. They take it to a mechanic. Mechanic says, it's going to be 2 weeks. And you know what people say? Okay, it's a car. I kind of understand 2 weeks. All right. And then you do what it takes to make adjustments, right, to get by for 2 weeks. A $400, $500 phone. You take it into the guy and he says, it's going to be 3 days. What? 3 days? I can't get through my day if I don't have that's too long. I'm not doing it. Right? I'll just go buy a new one. Right? This is your customer. This is what you have to understand. It's that important. And people don't realize that. I've seen the most failure in this business because people don't understand who they service in this business. So they don't approach it in the proper way to be successful. So what happens is you start a business, right? Anybody ever heard of Yelp? Anybody ever heard of Google? What do they do on those things? What is that for? What is Yelp and Google and Google reviews? Excuse me. What is that? What do people do with those?
Look to see what other people think about businesses.
About businesses. They review you, right? And people love to see other people's experiences. Same thing that thing says, experience. Before I spend money with you, Jason, right? I'm going to check and see what the history is on your business. And I'm going to see what other people's experiences have been with you, right? That can make and break your business today. Make and totally break your business. And a lot of people fall into that problem because they don't know the customer expectation. So then they try to service this customer without knowing their customer expectation, and they miss the mark. And what happens to that customer? It's not a good experience. It's a what? Horrible experience. And the first thing customers want to do when they have a horrible experience is what? They want to get on the mountaintop and they want to scream, right? Because they want to voice how displeasured they are with the experience. I wasted my time. I wasted my money. These people lied to me. They didn't fulfill my expectation. And it may not have been that you lied to them. It just may have been that you didn't understand what their expectation was. There was a disconnect. Does that make sense? See, so many businesses go out of business for that reason. So it's important you guys understand that before you even get in this business. That's why I'm glad you're here. Before you start, what you need to understand, and you guys who have been in business before and that was a problem, this is probably what happened, right? You had a lot of angry, upset customers because they did not, you did not, not them, you did not set the right level of expectation for that customer. Because I've seen nothing like it. This business is different than any other business I've seen in terms of customer expectation because of the need of what you're servicing. It's a mobile device. It's communication. It's connection. It's connectivity. If people don't have these devices, they feel disconnected. They feel lost. They feel like they can't operate. There is nothing else, guys, that I can think of other than money that people connect with so emotionally. Does that make sense? That's why people who understand this part of the presentation and understand this part of the business have more success than people who don't. This is why you'll see people who will get in this business and 6 months later, they'll be out of this business, right? Because they didn't understand the customer expectation. Does that make sense? Right, I'm gonna read another one. This one, a customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He does not depend on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of our work. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of our business. We are not doing a favor by serving him. He is doing a favor by giving us an opportunity to serve him. Mahatma Gandhi. So you guys heard of him, right? Does that connect with you guys? Who's the most important part of your business? The customer all day. And in this industry, let me tell you guys something. It's even more the case because of the level of expectation and the need people have for these devices, right? So you got to understand who you're servicing and you got to understand that level of expectation, all right? I'll just read the next.